All right, thanks a lot, Julie. It's good to see everyone. We got to see a few of you at convention this year, which is always exciting to actually put a full body with each of your faces. So it was good to see you, and thank you for taking the time to join us in Cambridge for convention. Well, in our theme of the summer, the months of June, July, and August, we're at program number two that's going to focus on white colored glassware, which in the world of Cambridge glass, that means Opal and Carrera and Milk, which were produced in different time frames, which I'm sure Les is going to explain all that to us this evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone has to share at the end, Julie, and then we can talk about next month's program after tonight's.
Excellent. Thank you, David. So, Les, we're going to let you take it away to teach us a little bit more about our colors of the month.
Yeah, okay. So we're doing the red, white, and blue because of the 250th anniversary of the country and to tie in with the convention. Red, of course, we did Carmen last time, and that's a popular color, and was in production for a dozen years, but then came back in the 50s. Next month it'll be blue, and we're doing royal blue because that fits the color blue for the flag and everything else. And there's all kinds of you that love royal blue. So we'll have plenty of you to share glass with the group. Uh, the white is a little tougher. I'm hoping that many of you have glass to share. That's, I think, the thing that we really hope that this is about socializing and sharing across the group what you have in your collections. So Cambridge tried 3 times with white glass, and all 3 attempts were very short-lived. They did not last long at all, which means they probably didn't sell very well. Um, Hopefully, we'll see a variety of the 3 white colors that Cambridge made. They are called milk glass by many of us. However, I believe the Milk Glass Collectors Club, David, you can chime in here maybe. They refer to anything that's opaque as milk glass. So then there's a colored milk glass. Is that right, David?
That is correct. It's like
Okay.
milky blue, milky pink, milky anything, except ebony. They kind of draw the line at ebony for most collectors, but anything that's opaque.
Okay. And it's kind of ironic because in among the glass companies, anything that's opaque has fluorspar in it. That's what goes into the batch, fluorspar to make glass opaque. Across the glass industry, they call opaque glass opal. It's opal glass. So in the Helmer's batch book, oh my gosh, the number of opal glass formulas because azurite, was an opal glass as far as the glass companies. So just a little terminology there. So most of us do consider white glass milk glass, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Cambridge introduced opal, the color opal, in 1902. There's no evidence that it existed after 1905, but opals were just the hot gemstone in that era in the United States and in Europe. From the late 1880s into the early 1900s, opals were just super hot gemstone. And Queen Victoria in England actually had something to do with that. She liked opals and diamonds. At any rate, opals come in many colors. The lowest grade are white. The ones that are least desirable are white. But it was a common name, opal, that was often used for white glass as well, and Cambridge used that. Now, there has been some that in our group that have said that the pronunciation is opal. I struggle with that a little bit because, again, in that era, I mean, the world was all abuzz about opals. And for marketing purposes, the radio didn't come aboard until about 1920. So there was no way there could be advertising of a color vocally. before 1920. So my guess is that it was referred to as Opal at that time. So they made that attempt from 1902 to 1905. I have an example here. This is the Little Red Riding Hood Child's Punch Bowl set. I don't know if you can see the characters in it. There was a period of time we didn't know for sure if this was made by Cambridge, but I think we now have documentation that it was made by Cambridge, as many people had assumed. It's got little itty bitty punch cups that go with it. So that's an example of very early Cambridge glass after the company first opened in 1902 at the beginning. And hopefully some others in the group have examples of that. The next attempt by Cambridge to make a white glass, milk glass, was called Carrera, and that name comes from the white marble from Tuscany in Italy, is Carrera marble. And man, that one was really short-lived as well, 1922, and not much evidence after 1923. So hopefully we'll see some examples, a lot of console sets, console bowls with candlesticks popped up in Carrera. I know an early trip to Cambridge for convention, I shopped a mall actually in Columbus, Ohio on the way into town, and I got a pair of Carrera candlesticks, but they were really like dirty. There was streaks in that glass, and I went to Judy's shop, and she said, "Well, go talk to Harold across in the Bennett Museum." So I went over there, and I said, I've got a pair of Carrera candlesticks here. I wouldn't mind if you'd look. Oh, I doubt they're Carrera because it's pretty hard to find. Didn't make much of it. So I took them out, and he said, "Yep, they're Carrera, but man, oh man, they had oil residue in that mold when they made that Carrera." So I don't know if that was a typical problem. It was very tough for a company if they didn't have uniform color on items they sold. They struggled quite a while with Crown Tuscan. They struggled a bit with Rubina, and I think they may have struggled some with Carrera. So we'll see if some of you tonight share Carrera items, if there's streaking in it, so it's not a nice pure milk glass. I've got just one example in my collection, and it's not a very elegant piece of glassware, but it is from the 1920s, and it's this dog decanter. I mean, I get a kick out of these dog and cat containers or decanters. They're certainly not elegant, though, are they? Not in the least. But it is reasonably good as far as the color being uniformly white, but probably not as good as some other glass manufacturers. Then the final attempt at milk glass was in later years, before the final closing of the factory in 1954. Now, the Colors Book 1 and 2 say that milk glass, the color milk by Cambridge, was only made for 6 months in 1954. Well, we now know that wasn't the case because we've got all these invoices. So they were certainly, and there just seemed too much of it out there on the market in milk to be made for that short a period of color. And there's invoices from throughout 1953 as well. So milk glass was made by Cambridge there before the initial closing in 1953 and 1954, and they made quite a bit of it. At that period, it wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to compete with Westmoreland, which was the king of making milk glass. My gosh, their panel grape is plentiful. You'll find it a lot in the malls. Very popular, very well done, very well crafted, and very pure white. So again, these companies had to keep up with each other, and whatever was the rage at a given period of time, they tried to chime in. So I do have some examples here of milk glass. They pulled molds out and made in milk glass. It tended to be lines, like Everglade. So this is an Everglade vase, and hopefully some of you will have some other blanks in Everglade that you can show to the group in milk glass. They also did Caprice, and I think that Gwenelle's got some pieces behind her there she might be showing. I actually have only a pair of these. They are the reflector candlesticks. These are pretty hard to find, by the way. And they're well done, actually, well done as far as color and being fairly pure white. The other line that they did quite a bit in milk glass was in the seashell line. And this is an example of a dolphin cocktail. And it's got what Charlton called just their rose decoration on it. Some of you may recall Charlie Upton, big mover and shaker in the club, original founder of the club. He just loved this Charlton rose decoration on milk, and it's toughest to find. It's rare as hen's teeth, he would say. It was a saying that Charlie Upton often said as far as this rose decoration on the seashell items. The other decoration, a line that they put that rose decoration on was the swans. So and they only made the milk swans in three sizes: the 3-inch, the 4.5-inch, and the 8-inch. So there aren't a lot of them out there with this rose decoration on it. And of course, it does add a little zippity doodah to a plain white swan, although a white swan is probably more authentic than one that's got roses on its wings. So let's see if check my notes quick here if I got everything that I wanted to cover. Yeah, that's the key thing. So that's what I've got, Julie, as an introduction. Now let's see what everyone's got.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Les. Appreciate that. I've never really seen much Carrera out there, so I'm always interested in trying to find a piece or two, but I haven't seen much out there, to be honest. So pretty pieces.
Yeah, it was introduced the same time essentially as azurite, helio, jade, and of course those all stayed in production for a long period of time. But I think it's less common than Pomona green
Really?
that was introduced in the late 20s
Yes.
as an opaque color. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see all kinds of it tonight.
We hope so. Well, thank you. Beautiful pieces that you showed us as well. So thank you so much always for bringing such stellar things for us to view. So we're going to start off tonight with Jeff Eggers, and we'll put Gwenelle on deck, please.
Hey everybody, good to see y'all. I don't have a whole lot. I have my wife's little jewelry box. And the rarest piece you can probably find, one of these, which I'm sure everybody's got one or three. But that's all I have.
Oh, well, thank you both from the seashell line. And I think a lot of people use that little dish as a jewelry dish, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I have it, and my stepmother has one. So very common, but
Yeah,
very useful. Utilitarian,
exactly.
as tell us.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you
Thanks.
so much, Jeff. Appreciate that. It's always great to see you. Next, we'll have Gwenelle, and we'll put Rich on deck, please.
Good evening, everyone. And wanted to show my creamer from the heirloom. It's got the sticker in it. And I'll show one of the Caprice ones. I did notice with the Caprice on this one, it's kind of a muted white. It's not the shiny white that you see on heirloom. I went, maybe that's part of the production problem. And the other vase I have is more the shiny like this one. So it's muted. And then I'm pretty sure they're Cambridge, but they could be Morgantown. Got the sugar and creamer with the Farber. And Les asked earlier about Westmoreland, and I had to go dig them out. And yes, I do. But that's the footed fruit. It's not the grape, but it's the fruit. But that's the Westmoreland. And in competition also with the Fostoria, they also had a fruit with the footed.
And Gwinnell, you'd probably agree, both of those companies did a pretty good job on their milk
They
glass.
did real good, and they had a blank tray. It's just doesn't have any decoration on it other than the trim, but the fruit, both of them are very white. And then one more company, Macbeth did their anniversary, but it's more of a translucent, and but it is still the milk. The bottom you can see the translucent a little bit better around the rim.
Gwinnell, it looks like it's very thin. That's
It
why
is very thin. It is very thin. I don't know if you can tell with that or not, but you can almost see up here, or you can see behind it. You can see through it. And they're light. They're not very heavy. So the others are behind me.
All right.
So that's what I've got.
Okay. You didn't show your little tray that went with the little creamer and the sugar, though.
No, I don't have the gold tray.
You don't have the gold tray. Well,
I don't have the gold
I
tray.
have something you don't have, Gwinnell, then. So I was actually going to show that, but you've already showed it quite nicely. And the only comment I'll make is this is also made by Farber, but it's brass. They're brass holders
Brass.
rather than
The
your
brass holder.
leather Farber chrome.
They're just not silver. They're not the chrome.
That's right. They're brass.
They're not chrome.
This one,
Brass.
the one I have actually still has this. I'm going to have to get really close.
Oh, fun, 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 fun.
The sticker on it that actually shows that it says brass. So it's kind of
Cool.
just a unique little thing that says solid brass. So to add to Gwinnell's show and tell there. So next we're going to move. Thank you, Gwinnell. And it's always great that you bring other examples so we can see, as you know, less described as, you know, the glossier look or the less glossy look. One's a little more translucent, one is not. So thank you so much for always having those extra examples for us. That's wonderful. Next, we're going to move on to Rich, and we will put Bill on deck, please.
Okay. Well, Les stole my thunder and already showed the 1009 Everglade vase. It's one of the only vases I have. And interestingly enough, this is really shiny. It's not iridescent, although it looks like it in this light. One of my fun things.
And Rich, I think that's the least common of the Everglade in milk.
Really?
So we each got one, yeah.
Oh, neat. I like that. I'm happy to know that. And this is a little bit older. I've seen this referred to as the crucifix candlestick. I see it under different numbers, 1 and 2 and 3. I can't tell the difference between them, though.
That they are Opal, and they were made by quite a few different companies. And Tom Feld's Candlestick book reviews them quite a bit. I believe that one was made by Cambridge based on his descriptions.
Ah, good. I got it right then.
It would be Opal, yeah.
Beautiful. That's the only white I have.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, obviously, you're in great company, Rich. As if Les has the Everglade and you have one, you're in great company.
I am esteemed now.
But lovely pieces. We don't often see we've never really seen a lot of the crucifix come out in any of our Zoom meetings. So it's nice to see that example. You see it in the catalog and you always go, well, I've never seen one of those. Yeah. So I can check that out now.
I've only got the one.
You only have one.
So I've only got the one. It needs a brother.
Okay.
To make a set. So I'm still looking.
Okay. This is always the best place to say, this is what I need. All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Next, we'll go to Bill and we'll put Lyle on deck, please.
Okay, what I've got is I have 2 of the Opal 7-inch diameter number 112 plates. Both of them seem to have like flecks of gold left on the flower. I'm suspecting that at one time they were decorated, but unfortunately now there's not much left. But I've got two of those. And then I have some other examples of milk. My mother had given me some Fenton milk, and I've got a little shoe right here. It's a much, I don't know what you call it, deeper white, maybe. That it's very, very solid white. And then I I also have an Anchor Hawking I gravy, which is much of the thinner, more translucent white. So those are my examples.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, moms tend to give us those things that they cherish most, which is always very nice. So you have something to remember your parents by. So thank you for your examples. But I think we're often in the same boat when we find those plates that have been decorated. And after a while, the paint started to come off. And then finally, someone said, I'm just going to take as much paint off as I can. So I have a few of those plates myself. So thank you for sharing with us, Bill. It's always wonderful to see you.
And the gold decoration.
Next, we'll go to Lyle, and we'll put Jeff and Mary on deck, please.
Julie, the gold decoration erases off pretty easy, which is a common eraser. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few pieces, but they aren't mine. They're out of my wife's collection. She has. I'm pretty sure that's ivory. If Carlton was involved with it at all, the seashell line is what she has the most of, with the decorates and the sparkles and the pretties and things. And that's a covered candy. A little nut cup, of course. This one, I just love the title of it. It's a bonbon. I mean, how can you go wrong with bonbon? You know, very pretty little piece. It's again the Charlton Rose in the pretty common. Still got a sticker. We've got a little decanter. I call this the disappointment decanter because it hardly holds any. It wouldn't go through one round of drinks at my house, I'll tell you.
You're going to have to find her a bigger one then.
Well, no, you have several is what you do, Julie. You
Okay.
stack them up like cordwood, you know.
Yeah.
And then the common vase decorated with some Charlton. Mostly they're pretty in good shape, but they put the sparkles inside and on the outside when they do it on white, but the sparkles disappear when they do the same patterns on Crown Tuscan. I thought that was kind of interesting, at least with the ones we have here. But that's the show for tonight.
Linda didn't find all those in a 1 year period of time.
No, ma'am. No.
It takes a while to assemble a collection of it.
There's little pieces here and there wander in from all over the country. So we try to get them with pretty decent gold as a trick, but I think we did pretty well.
Well, it looks like the Charlton pattern's just a shade different as well between the crown and the milk. And I mean, on the outside, they have the little teeny tiny roses, which I don't really recall being on the crown.
Look at these. Aren't those precious? That's on the tail end of a lid. And they just couldn't stand it. They had to put just a couple roses on there.
Well, of course.
Of course. And then they're diminutive on the rim of the bowl that they sit in. Just adorable. Very pretty.
Beautiful.
Haven't found anything but the roses, though.
Oh, beautiful examples. Love those.
Lyle, I'm pretty sure that's the only decoration Charles put on the milk.
Yeah, I was even looking at this one, which I thought for a long time was something other than roses, but there they are.
Even on the stopper.
Even on the stopper. Well, I don't know what that is. What is that? That's just a doo-wah, right?
Like a little flower, I guess.
Yeah, it's all gold, so it's probably done very quickly because there's a lot of them around the neck and around the perimeter of the pour spout. But anyway, pretty
Beautiful.
stuff.
Yes,
No,
beautiful.
no ladies tonight.
No ladies tonight. Well, you'll have to save them for the next time because next month is blue. So we probably think some ladies might show up next.
We can arrange that.
You can arrange that. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your wife's
Well, thank you.
collection with us tonight. It's too bad she's not sharing it with us. Give her a hard time.
Yeah, well, she just doesn't like video.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you both for sharing your collection as always. Next, we'll go to Jeff and Mary, and we'll put David on deck, please.
Okay. So here's a from the seashell line. This is our most recent bowl. We were out on Friday doing some shopping and picking up some things, and this was there. So we said, well, we got to get this because the program is milkless, so we have to buy it. So we did. And we've got the heirloom vase. We both really like this pattern, and I really like it in color. We have it in a lot in crystal, but. And then we've got the covered urn. And the Nautilus vase. And got a 4.5-inch swan. We've got a couple other swans too. We got the candle holders, but there are some things I just couldn't get to that are in the attic, and it's just too hot to be up there right now. And then the last piece I think was, and I think this is Carrera, the candlestick. And we bought a pair of them, but one was broken, and it's still got the wrap around it, and I cut myself trying to undo it. So it's staying where it is. So we're looking for a mate for it. So if anybody comes across one of these candlesticks,
worth a while.
Yeah.
Mary, that's definitely Carrera. Is there any streaking in it? Is it a very nice pure white?
I don't see any streaking in it. There's a little black spot of dirt in the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you can see it there. But yeah, it doesn't seem to have that streaking in it.
I mean, it's pretty pure piece of glass.
Yeah. Yeah. We also have a footed bowl, but I couldn't get to that either. So that's
I
it.
agree. It's too hot to get in the attic.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, beautiful pieces. I like that you had the urn, and now do you have the red urn and the blue urn too, that you've got them all decorating for their fourth of July?
We don't have the blue. We've got red without a cover. We've got green covered, and we put that out at Christmas time with the white. But yeah, we don't have blue. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful pieces. All right, we'll have David. And is there anyone I missed? If so, just drop me a little chat and we'll put you behind David.
All right, Julie, thank you. I've got some pieces of milk. I do not have any of the other colors that were discussed this evening, so I want to start with the deviled egg plate. Cambridge made two versions of the deviled egg plate. I need to do something here. Hold on.
Oh, Jack's here. Thanks, Jack.
There we go. Now I can see. I couldn't see what I was showing. This is the version where they've taken the Martha pattern out of the back. So it's the later version. Cambridge did make two versions of the deviled egg plate. So these are a little bit more difficult to find, but I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of a utilitarian thing that Cambridge made that you can actually use today. The next item, as Les mentioned, they made several pieces in Everglade. This is the daffodil vase. This is the last version. It's got the more scalloped open top. The earlier versions had a more geometric top on them. So I haven't seen too many daffodil vases, but I was happy to find one. And then Cambridge also made the tulip vase. Again, this is the later version where they added in additional leaves and tulips to kind of more encase the vase. And the top is much more flared out. The earlier version is more straight up, and there's a lot more background space without the Everglade design in it. So that's kind of a fun piece. And the last piece I know is a little tricky to find. It's the Virginian cake plate. Normally, when you look down on a Virginian cake plate, you can see the pattern to the top. Oh, the top is milk. The pattern's on the bottom, so you have to look on the back side to actually see the design and the design down here on the foot. Cambridge made this a couple different ways. Sometimes there's a well, maybe a rum well or something like that, but the later version, it does not have that. It's just a perfectly flat cake stand.
And David, is that maybe the only one that's surfaced that we know of?
That's the only one I know of at this point. But I keep looking for them. This is the only one I've ever found.
Yeah.
So, Julie, that's all I have this evening.
Oh, wonderful. I really like that cake plate. So how many other, we're talking about cake plates. I've never seen too many footed in Cambridge lines. Are there others that are footed?
Yeah, there are other in Mount Vernon. They made a footed cake plate. Believe it or not, they're not easily found.
Mm.
I would say the Virginia one is probably the most common that has like the pedestal foot. Caprice had a cake plate, but it's just maybe an inch off the ground.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I was thinking more with the pedestal. I mean, we know there's some plates that have like the little feet at the very bottom, like Chantilly, Rose Point, but nothing. The pedestal is what struck me as being so unique about this piece. I don't really remember too many pedestal cake plates within Cambridge.
Well, I know the Mount Vernon one. You can find a Mount Vernon one, which is basically a compote laid flat, but it has about a 4 or 5 inch pedestal foot on it. There's an older one back in the 20s that's more rectangular, not more squared off. That is maybe 3 to 4 inches tall. But I don't think Cambridge made a lot of pedestal cake plates that I can think of.
Okay. Well, thank you. Beautiful pieces, especially nice to see the differences in the Everglade patterns with the Everglades and the daffodils and the variety of patterns that were actually in those lines. So thank you. Next, we have Jack.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Well, the first thing I was going to show was the crucifix candlestick, and Rich showed this, so I won't show this again, but we have a pair of these, and it looks like, Rich, you have the correct one, the number one, I believe. So
what he wants to know, Jack, is if you have any spares in your collection.
No, I do not. I don't even remember where we got that. We've had them for a long time, but
I tried, Rich.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to show is a seed cup, and it's interesting, when Cambridge introduced these in the 1903 catalog, they were available in crystal, turquoise, and opal, and Cambridge did throughout the years did a number of things in the the bird feeders then, because that was a popular thing. You can see in the back that it has this would sit. It's got a little thing on there. It would sit on the cage, and then the bird can get in there and have a little seed cup. The interesting thing, though, about this is Cambridge brought these back in the early 20s, and you can find them in jade, azurite, and I always wondered if this was Carrera. I don't think so, and then looking at it, it's just not made quite as well as Carrera, but It's possible because it's the exact same blank that was made by the thing, but I tend to think that this was Opal. So I do have one Carrera piece. It's a 71 candlestick. We have a pair of these, and it's very nicely done. Beautiful white color. So it's pretty nice candlesticks. We
Jack,
like
that's
those.
exactly the candlesticks that I showed to Harold Bennett that were really streaky. That
Oh, really?
It's a
Yeah, no, these
nice blank.
this is about as
Yeah.
pure and nicely done as you can get, really. Because I have seen people have talked about how you'll see maybe sometimes a little black speck in them occasionally, but this doesn't have that. So, and then we've got a couple of milk pieces. I'm surprised nobody showed this, but gotta show Pencil Dog.
That's right.
And I'm surprised nobody saw it. 'Cause I don't know that. I don't think they're that uncommon. So,
I don't think they're very common, Jack.
I don't
oh,
think so.
really?
I
Yeah.
don't think at all. I haven't been able to find one. So
Oh, I'll be doggone. Well, then, hey, we got a milk pencil dog then. Uh, and another milk piece that is, and this is, Cambridge did a number of milk Mount Vernon line pieces, but this was not one that was cataloged. They did the one light candlestick and a number of other things, but so this doesn't have a milk number like majority of the other pieces do. Really tough to find the two light Mount Vernon candlestick. So beautiful piece. And then the last thing we have, and I may have showed this before, but it's the Seashell 51 candelabrum here, the dolphin candlestick. And it has, these have no lock Beaubouchers on. They're not two lock Beaubouchers. They are no lock Beaubouchers. And so we have a pair of these as well. And they're really nice. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Is there anybody that we missed? Well, the only thing I really have to show today is this is from Imperial. I'm going to try to get it as close as possible. But as you can see, it has an elephant for a handle. And it actually still has the little label inside, if you can kind of see that. And so this was called Storybook Mug with Glass. And it actually has like monkeys and horses and zebras, almost like a circus routine. But I really just love the little elephant handle. But again, it's kind of, when you hold it up, it's not translucent, but it's a very pretty milk for like, but the bottom is fairly translucent in the very, very bottom. It also looks like I need to do some dusting. So that's all I really have to show tonight. I just thought I'd bring in another example of other manufacturers. So is there anything else, any other show and tell before I turn it back to David?
Thank you, Miss Greg.
Oh, Greg, he just popped up. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, Greg. Show away.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry.
There you are. Oh, we lost your sound though.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I was looking at, I don't think I have much milk glass, but then I looked around and I found a few, and it seems like I have just about one from each line. I don't have a lot from any one line. I just have a few. I have one of the, hey, I thought these were supposed to be scarce as hen's teeth. We've seen a few of those today. I don't, maybe I'll just put my hen's teeth in here when I find them. And in the Caprice line, I've got the vase, and out of the dolphin line, I've got that candlestick that Jack had a pair of. I think it's really neat that when they decided to do these in milk, that they decided to make them, offer them without just regular, and they offered them with the little lip so you could put a Beauboucher on there. I think that was very nice of them to offer them both ways. Also have the pretty hard to find Mount Vernon ice bucket and milk. There's not many of these around. There's a couple, but not very many. And finally, there was a collection sold a little while ago of the daughter of a former Cambridge employee. He worked at Cambridge for a few years. He worked in the later years of the original company, but then he also worked for a few years for the during the reopen period. And this is just a little unremarkable swan. It's just milk glass 3-inch swan with a little bit of gold dabbed on there, but it's kind of fun. There was also a much bigger swan in that collection too, but I did not get. But I'm very happy to have this.
Greg, that's the second one, 3-inch size with that gold decoration on it.
Wow.
It's the second one I've ever seen. I got one and it was in the Bennett Museum at one time. So that's not common with that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's less common than having the Charlton.
And I noticed that the gold on the head is not on the bill, it's on the head. Whereas a lot of times you see that gold on the bill.
Yeah, it's right there on his noggin. Yeah. That's cute. It's on the little flippers also, or fins, whatever they are.
So a swan collector would be pretty happy to add that to their collection. So.
I'm very happy with that. Very pleased. That's what I have. Thank you all.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed those pieces. We don't often see the ice buckets in milk. I'm not sure. Are there any other patterns besides Mount Vernon that has milk in an ice bucket? I'm not aware of it.
I've never heard of any.
Yeah, really interesting pieces. Like those. Thank you.
Cool. You bet.
Did I miss anyone else? I'm sorry that I missed you earlier, Mark. I didn't see anything in the chat. My apologies.
No problem.
Anybody else?
Julie, I just add that I think we did pretty well not many people collect milk. And it's summer, so we have 24 computers. So I'm pretty impressed actually with the turnout tonight and the fact that so many people were willing to share. Thank you.
And beautiful pieces. I like the uniqueness of all the pieces we've seen this evening. That's wonderful. With that being said, we're going to turn it back over to David for our closing remarks.
Hey, Julie, thank you. And thank you to everyone that shared glass this evening. That's what Zoom and Tell is all about, is the sharing of the glass. And it's just fun to see pieces that, like Greg's swan with gold. For a moment, he felt it was unremarkable, and now it's like only the second one that's ever surfaced. So maybe it's a little bit less unremarkable now that he has it. So that's pretty cool. So I think that's kind of the goal of Zoom and Tell, is to share our glass and find out a little bit more about the glass that we have in our collections. As Les mentioned, that next month we'll be focusing on royal blue. Certainly one of the, if not the most popular color collected by glass collectors is the darker blue made by Cambridge. It was also one of Henry Helmer's inventions when he was there as the lead chemist. So look through your collections and be prepared to share some outstanding pieces of that. And that is scheduled for, that's what I was looking up, the second Tuesday in August is going to be the 11th. August 11th. So if you're available to join us on August 11th, we look forward to seeing you back then. And until then, thank you to Les, of course, for leading tonight's program, which is always very, very informative, and everyone else for sharing their glass with us tonight.
Thank you, David. And again, I'd like to say thanks to everyone that joined us this evening. It's always great to see everyone. And We didn't see everyone at convention. It's obviously one of my highlights of my month to be here with all of you and just to see all the spectacular things that we're able to share together. And more so just the community of the event, of all of us that really treasure our pieces of glass, whether they're Cambridge or another manufacturer. I always find this to be an extremely learning experience for myself. And hopefully everyone's picked up a little tidbit today as well. So thank you, Les. Thank you, David. Thank you to everyone that shares their glass. It's so appreciated by me and by the rest of us on Zoom. And we look forward to seeing you on August 11th. So I think I'm going to have to be doing some digging on some royal blue. I have a few pieces I think I could pick up pretty quickly. So with that being said, have a great evening and we'll see each other next month.